Their prophet told them, God has appointed Saul to be your king. They protested, how can he be our king when some of us are more deserving of kingship than he, and he has not been blessed with vast riches? He replied, God has chosen him over you and blessed him with knowledge and stature. God grants kingship to whomever he wills, and God is all bountiful, all knowing. Their prophet further told them, the sign of King Saul's kingship is that the ark will come to you, containing reassurance from your Lord and relics of the family of Moses and the family of Aaron, which will be carried by the angels. Surely in this is a sign for you, if you truly believe. Yeah, so Allah is appointing the king, whereas...
That's fine, just keep reading.
When Saul marched forth with his army, he cautioned, God will test you with a river. So whoever drinks, his fill from it not with me, and whoever does not taste it, except,
Keep going. Just keep...
And whoever does not taste it, except to sip from the hollow of his hands, is definitely with me. They all drank their fill, except for a few. When he, with the remaining faithful, crossed the river, they said, now we are no match for Goliath and his warriors. But those believers who were Goliath...
Because it's Saul at the river.
Yeah. But those believers who were certain they would meet God reasoned, how many times has a small force vanquished a mighty army? Yeah, I mean, there's like 3 stories in them.
You gotta keep reading till you get to David.
When they advanced to face Goliath and his warriors, they prayed, O Lord, shower us with perseverance, make our steps firm, and give us victory over the disbelieving people. So they defeated them with God's will, and David killed Goliath, and God blessed David with kingship and wisdom.
That's it. So, what is it?
Well, you have like Judges and 1st, 2nd Samuel all squished into one.
Yes, and also so obviously, who is it at the river?
Well, that's Gideon.
Yes, okay. And does Saul in 1 Samuel, does he charge into battle against Goliath?
No.
No, obviously.
40 days
No,
later.
and this makes it sound like God wanted there to be a king.
Yeah, kind of.
But what he's saying, like, it was the Ark of a Covenant came.
Oh yeah. So the people protested when he's presented. Mm-hmm. Do they protest in 1 Samuel? When Saul's appointed, here's your king.
Yeah.
Do they protest?
No, they want a king. That's what I'm saying.
Of course.
Like
so
God,
here
God
they
says,
here they protest.
Yes.
Because he's not a wealthy man.
Yes.
And in 1 Samuel 9:1-2, it says he's the son of Kish, who was a wealthy man.
Yes. Yeah.
And the ark.
But when the ark came, you remember the story of an ark
Everyone gets
coming?
this one wrong, the timing.
The Ark of a Covenant was lost to Philistines.
Yes. Yeah. They took it in the battle after Uzziah.
Eli.
And they defeated
Eli.
And
his 2 sons were killed in the battle. Ark was taken.
Yes.
Do you remember what time frame the ark was with the Philistines?
Where's that relative to Saul?
It's prior to Saul.
There you go.
It's 70...
Yes.
7 months.
7 months exactly.
Was with the Philistines.
And they let them go because they've been so much trouble.
Yeah, because it knocked over the Baal.
So over 40 years, almost 50 years before Saul, Ark was already in the land of Israel.
Yeah,
how come it could be a sign of his kingship?
Coming back.
Right.
It's already been like 50 years before.
Yeah, that's what I mean with conflation with Judges.
Oh yeah. But also, it's anachronisms,
Joshua, Judges, 1st and 2nd Samuel, you have all in one go.
There's actually a midrashic element too, because Saul in the midrash, he's in the battle with the Philistines. So the battle when the ark is taken, the midrash says that Saul's in that battle before they ask for a king, right? So it's kind of like he shows them a heroic act before they ask for king. So it's almost like giving his credibility. So he saw Goliath holding the 2 tablets that were in the ark, and he wrestled.
In this?
No, it's Midrash.
Okay.
So it says that Saul goes and he wrestles Goliath and recovers the tablets from him in that battle, in the first Samuel 4. Right? So, in other words, what is the Quran saying? The sign of Saul's kingship is that the ark and the relics that are in the ark will be returned. Which would be in the battle when Saul fights.
Yeah, that's already in the tabernacle.
No, I know, but the point is, in the Midrash,
it
gives him in the battle where he's recovering relics from the ark.
Yeah.
So it's kind of...
neither the Midrash nor the Quran.
Of course. I just...
So when you know Midrash, then you understand the Quran.
So essentially, and you know, what do Muslims always say? Bible's corrupted, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we say is, you have to see it first. They're not allowed to say in general. We got to be specific. So it's corrupted in these ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because the original Torah and the original Tanakh had it like this. That's what you're saying? And the Jews changed it from this to what we have now? Now you see it. So that's what we press them on.
Yeah.
And they have no clue how to deal with it.
Right.
Because I don't even need the Dead Sea Scrolls at this point. I mean, that's what we use those things. We use manuscripts that we can find that predate it, that support.
Yeah, but they can't read the Hebrew.
No, it doesn't matter. But
the Quran has very little awareness of what's actually going on in the Old and the New Testament. I mean, I see no indication that the author of the Quran had read any of the Old or the New Testament. I mean, Muhammad is said traditionally in the Islamic narrative to have been illiterate. And even if he was literate, it's not entirely clear whether the Old or New Testaments would have been translated into Arabic in a way that he would have been able to get the information from anyways in his time. However, the traditional narrative ascribes Muhammad as being a 7th century Arab caravaner. And so what we get within the narratives of the Quran are things that are floating around orally by Christians and Jews and Zoroastrians that are kind of adjacent to the stories that we find within the said scriptures of those religious worldviews. Whereas the Quran is kind of in its own category and actually confuses and conflates a number of stories. So I was sitting down with a friend the other day and he was showing me some, he does a lot of Muslim evangelism and apologetics, and there are a number of stories in the Quran where they take, say, stories from Exodus, Judges, and 1st and 2nd Kings and squish it all together in that the details seem to be mixed up. And if you know the Bible stories, you start reading and you go, wait a minute, that's the wrong guy being told to go down and collect water. And if his army, laps the water up like a dog, then, do a certain things with that group. And then if they use their hands to cup the water into their mouth, then do something else with that group, right? That's the story of Gideon.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
But if I'm remembering correctly, I think they ascribe that to Moses in the Quran. I could be wrong about that. Either way, so I'm going off the top of my head.
Okay.
These stories are squished together.